How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
Welcome into 14P Fantasy. Today we are talking running backs to avoid week 8. And I'm going to say this. If these guys are someone you're relying on week in and week out, don't avoid them. These are really like if you have the ability to sit players that have seen work. Because again, running back is a wasteland. If you have depth and you aren't screwed with bye weeks, then go ahead, sit some of these guys. But if you need to rely on them, I'm not saying don't play them at all costs. You know, maybe one of them. I'm saying that. But the other two, I think you can throw in your lineup in a pinch if you are truly desperate. But Mike Davis, spoiler, he's the one you're not even going to think about playing. Don't ever do that. Let's get into it, though. Michael Carter versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And he is a guy, I really like Michael Carter as a player. And we saw it last week. You know, he's had a pretty solid season. But now with Zach Wilson out, their quarterback is Mike White, I believe, or something like that. Didn't even bother to look it up because it doesn't matter. I know they traded for Joe Flacco, but I don't think he comes in and is the immediate starter. Which means you're playing with a no-name quarterback. The offense is not going to move the ball. Cincinnati is playing out of their mind right now. It's just, I don't see how Michael Carter finds the end zone or really does anything outside of catching, another 6 to 8 passes. And if he does that, then yeah, Michael Carter, I missed on it and I whiffed. However, I'm not going to bank on that in my RB2 spot. If it's a deep league, yeah, you can play Michael Carter. But if I have better options, like a Myles Gaskin, even against Buffalo, I prefer Myles Gaskin over Michael Carter this week. I think you to make the choice to go and sit Michael Carter in week 8. All right, guys, this is the one we already kind of teased it a little bit. Mike Davis is droppable as far as I'm concerned. The snaps were there last week, but he's just not going to get the touches we want because Cordell Patterson is better. I mean, all offseason, if you followed me on Twitter, I was pounding the table. Do not draft Mike Davis because it doesn't matter who the backup is. Mike Davis is going to lose this job. For a while, I was saying Javian Hawkins, then Quadri Allison. And then when they all got cut, I was saying Cordell Patterson. And that's exactly what's happened. Mike Davis is someone you can drop. He had 4 touches last week, 0 targets in the pass game. He's nothing more than a handcuff. So if you want to handcuff Cordell Patterson, sure, keep Mike Davis. But I know one thing. He should not be anywhere near your lineup, especially in this matchup. I haven't even got to that yet. He's playing Carolina. Divisional game. Best defense against the fantasy running back so far this year. Only allowing 15 points total a game. I'm still going to play Cordell Patterson. I'm fine throwing him in there. I think he's talented. He's going to find some red zone work. But Mike Davis should not be anywhere near your lineups at this point in the year. And finally here we have Damien Williams versus the San Francisco 49ers. Not a bad matchup. 17th most difficult. So in theory, it's just barely a plus matchup. But this is Khalil Herbert's backfield until David Montgomery comes back. And then it's a weird, ambiguous committee that's going to suck. But right now, Damien Williams coming off of COVID. He only played 17% of snaps, saw 4 touches. But the thing is, I don't think he ever gets back to seeing 50% of the snaps. The Bears want to run the ball. They want to run it with Khalil Herbert. And that's exactly what they're going to do against San Francisco. I don't think this is going to be a shootout style game. It's going to be low scoring between 2 pretty bad teams. Damien Williams is not a guy I really want in my lineup at the RB2 spot. Maybe if I am desperate as a flex play and just hope he catches 3-4 passes, that's about it for Damien Williams this week. But otherwise, you can't trust him. This is Khalil Herbert's backfield, at least for the next couple of weeks. All right, guys, that is all we have. 3 quick names there. If you got start-sit questions with any of them, anybody else even that's not on this list that I talked about, drop them below. As always, subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me over on Twitter at Justin_14P. And as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.